So this is me narrating the video for the river play in our game against Villain, as playing as Guy upstairs on range versus range. This is a pretty short video. River play is pretty easy, pretty much because by the time you get there, you're just doing exactly what you've set up for earlier in the hand. Just reviewing the history there if you missed it. It's just that, unsurprisingly, we got called on the turn, and now we've got almost a pot-sized bet left to put in on the river. Just going to take the nuts and bet them, and throw in a few bluffs, and check back hands that have got a bit of showdown value, and probably give up on a few bluffs as well. So let's just take a look. There's all your standard value bets. The 3 on the river obviously did turn a few of my hands into the nuts. The 4 threes suited and offsuit, the pocket 3s, the 5-2 suited and the 7-5 suited, pretty much turned into the nuts. So, you know, semi-bluffs, I mean, you really will see the value of semi-bluffs when you're playing range versus range. It's not much of your range that improves, but when it does, you know, you get paid off. Checking back all of your jacks here, obviously not a good idea. I'm sure I'm about to go and grab some of those higher jacks and value bet them. Or to put it this way, if I'm not betting my jacks on the river, why was I bluffing so damn much on the turn? So it could have been a bit of a strategic mistake by me here on the turn. Don't really want to start turning my weak jacks into bluffs. In fact, you can't even call it a bluff. I mean, if you bet a hand like Jack 2 suited, you know, Jack with no kicker on the river here, it's not turning a made hand into a bluff. It's not a value bet. It's just throwing money away. Given that your other option is checking back and, you know, winning half the pot, you really should be checking back hands like Jack 2. Anyway, this isn't about strategy. This is about how to use range versus range. So that was me just throwing in a few bluffs with Ace-King suited. Makes it a bit less likely that I'm actually that was just to get the odds right, just to make sure that I'm betting the right amount of hands. And then I'm pretty much going to check everything else back. If I check back a hand like pocket 5s, 5-3 suited, I'm really just going to lose here. I could turn them into bluffs, but the problem is they don't block enough of the hands that are going to look me up. Whereas if I bet a hand like Ace-Queen suited, I already know I'm behind, but I'm happy to bet with them because I'm actually making it less likely I get called. So here I am. I'm betting only 33% of hands. And I'm really giving up with a lot of hands here. Maybe not 50% of hands. I mean, the reason I don't want to give up with more, if I've got 50% of hands that I'm checking back and I know I'm losing with, I'm essentially giving Villain a profitable float on the river on the turn. He can essentially just call and not get faced with an ugly bet here on the river. To not be exploitable, I want to be giving up with a bluff less than 50% of the time. I think it's about right, but I think the fact that I'm checking all these jacks, checking all these good jacks, really shows that I was bluffing too much on the turn. So if Villain looks me up light on the turn, and we'll look at the ranges later, see what actually happened. If Villain's looking me up light on the turn, he's really outplaying me there. So there we go, we just bet 125 with a mixed polarized range and check back a bunch of medium strength hands.